I invite you to take a deep breath and feel yourself grounded, supported by the chair, the floor, the ground where you are. Feel yourself supported by the earth. And in this safe space, feel your body relaxing and beginning to open up to receive. Notice your heart opening with each breath. Notice the energy of your body flowing more and more freely, releasing any negative or restrictive thoughts. Bring to mind the different elements of nature. It might be the oceans, the rivers, the lakes. It might be the sky above you, or the mountains and hills, the deserts, the forests, the gardens, the trees. All of the different varieties of plants and flowers. Intentionally unite with all of nature, recognizing your connection, your oneness with the elements of nature. Think about the different life forms, the animals, the insects, the birds, the fish. Become one with them, feeling yourself connected with that same source of life, that energy. Find yourself in a web of life, intimately woven together with all of nature. I invite you to imagine your body as water, The energy of your body is clear, flowing, and free. Breathing in, allow your energy to flow freely. Breathing out, release any negative energies, any cloudiness, any blockage. Think of the sky above you, connecting the moon and the sun and the stars. Feel that energy. Breathe in their energy. Breathe out any sense of separation. Now connect that powerful light energy to the earth. Imagine you have roots that anchor to the middle of the earth and feel it. Feeling grounded, stable, freeing the energy of the earth, feeling it rising up. Feel grounded and connected. The energy of the earth rising up through your roots, connecting you to the light energy of the sun, the moon, and the stars. Continue becoming one with all of nature. Open your awareness to all that is nature. Continue with this cycle of breathing. Allow your energy to flow freely. Breathe in, allowing the energy of the earth to rise up within you. Breathe out, releasing anything that does not serve you. Breathe in the light from the universe. Breathe out, releasing any sense of separation. Breathe in, allowing the energy of the earth to rise up within you. Breathe out, releasing anything that does not serve you. Breathe in the light from the universe. Breathe out, releasing any sense of separation. Breathe in, allowing the energy of the earth to rise up within you. Then breathe out and share the light, love, joy, and peace that is the core of your being. There is an abundance for you to share. I invite you to place both of your hands over your heart center and feel love for and from nature. Allow this love, this connectedness to fill your heart. Feel gratitude for nature and all of its wonders, its joys, and for all it gives us. Feel grateful for all we receive from nature, for its abundance. And then send some love to nature, allowing the love from your heart center to flow into all of nature. Taking one more breath, return your awareness to your body. Feel the sensations once again. Relax. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Namaste.
Vegas. At CSL Greater Las Vegas, it is our mission to inspire spiritual discovery through community connection, exploration, and celebration. Before we begin this celebration service, let's all join in and sing our opening song together.
One life living as you and me, one life shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one life shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out, I'm so happy, I just wanna shout. One life living as you and me, one life shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one life shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out, I'm so happy, I just wanna shout. One life living as you and me, one life shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life, one life, one love, one life, one life, one love, one life, one life, one love, one life, one life. Break it down. Keep on shining from the inside out, I'm so happy, I just wanna shout. One life living as you and me, one life shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one life shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is.
What a glorious Sunday morning. I'm Judy Poteet, a licensed spiritual practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas. And it's my pleasure to be here with you as we experience this uplifting celebration service together. Throughout this service, if you feel a need for prayer, a prayer and a blessing for you, a family member, or a friend, then please go to our website and select our prayer request. Prayer and meditation are two very powerful spiritual traditions here in our community. Know that licensed spiritual practitioners are deeply committed to supporting you through prayer. We are here for you. Please feel free to call on us. As a matter of fact, even as I speak, 2 practitioners are providing spiritual support right now for you, for me, for our entire community. They're holding us in deep spiritual loving care from their homes by sitting in meditation during this service. We thank Valerie Weiner and Bobby Williams for holding high watch for each one of us today. And now, let us take a moment to consider this week's affirmation. You may wish to jot it down or take a picture of it and keep it with you as a source of inspiration throughout the week. I'll read the affirmation and then we'll enter into a time of contemplation together, after which I will give the invocation. I am of the divine being. My true nature is divine. I am of the divine being. My true nature is divine.
Spirit flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding expression of your unfolding love.
I recognize that there is one power, one presence, one life force that flows through me. It flows through all of life, through all of creation. It is that divine source, that creative, dynamic power, that is love, that is peace, that is joy, that is abundance. And I recognize that it is right here, right now, at all times, in all places, and in all things. I celebrate it and join together with others in this celebration. I am so grateful for all who have contributed to this time, this space, this service, and knowing it is perfectly divine, an inspiration to all who hear and experience. I am grateful, and so it is.
Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love. Let me be a candle, let me be a radiant star, let me be a beacon, shining who you are. Let me be the miracle I've been dreaming of. Let me be a lantern of your love. Shine through me, shine through me. Let the light within me help this troubled world to see. Shine through me, shine through me. Use this willing vessel, Holy Spirit, shine through me. If a friend grows weary, I'll come and take their part. If a child is hungry, I'll give out of my heart. In the darkest hour, I will lend a light from above. I will be a lantern of your love. Shine through me, shine through me. Let the light within me help this troubled world to see. Shine through me, shine through me. Use this willing vessel, Holy Spirit, shine through me. Shine through me, shine through me. Holy Spirit, shine through me.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Sunday morning gathering. I'm Reverend Laura Hallett, and what a pleasure it is to be back here with you again. I'd like to thank each and every one of you who is joining us live this morning. And for those of you that are joining us later on, thank you for being here too. If you would, please take a moment and check in on the YouTube chat. I'd love to say hi to you personally this morning. I like to start each of my services with some gratitude. So first off, to our media, music, and marketing team, the Triple M, Joe Blom, Justin Vogel, and Kelly Marshall. These folks bring all of their skills and talents and provide us with these beautiful and professional quality services each week. And I want to thank our musical support. David Villela is our featured artist today, and along with Melissa Allen and Mackenzie Angmar, we are truly blessed by their musical inspiration. And of course, I want to thank our practitioners who are in service today. We have with us Judy Petit, who brought us that amazing meditation this morning, and then an invocation to set the tone for our morning together. And sitting high watch for us are Valerie Weiner and Bobby Williams. Thank you all for your service. And of course, I'd like to thank all our Leadership Council and all of the many volunteers who keep our center running. We are truly, truly blessed by the contributions of all of these beloved individuals. And a special thank you to all of you who attended our in-person service in our new building last Sunday. I just love the energy that's felt when we gather in person. Our next in-person service will be on September 18th at 9 a.m. in our parking lot. So for the month of August, we've been looking at the topic of nature and the different aspects of nature and how we as inhabitants of this planet are completely intertwined with all of these various aspects. You know, here at Centers for Spiritual Living, we practice a philosophy we call science of mind. It was developed by our founder, Ernest Holmes, in the 20th century. Science of mind is part of a religious philosophy called panentheism. The word panentheism comes from three Greek words: pan, which means all, en, which means in, and theism, which comes from the Greek word theos, meaning God. So panentheism considers God and the world to be interrelated, with the world being in God and God being in the world. This belief system has two key factors. The first one is the immanence. And the immanence means that God is present in everything and in every situation. And then we have transcendence. God is not limited by any other being or reality. It transcends everything. So in other words, we believe that God is in everything, as everything, but is so much more than any one thing. In our Declaration of Principles, the very first statement speaks to this idea of panentheism. We believe in the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in, through, and as all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of the living Spirit. And so based on this belief system, how could we ever possibly be anything other than naturally divine? That's the title for today's talk. Naturally divine. So when we use phrases like God is all there is, or I am one with the divine, or the place on which I stand is holy ground for God is there, we are speaking directly to this panentheistic philosophy, this belief that God is in everything and that God moves through everything, and yet God is so much more than any one thing. It is present everywhere, in everything, all the time. In his book, This Thing Called You, Ernest Holmes writes, "Perhaps this seems too good to be true, and yet all nature is a living example, a continuous reminder that there is a spirit animating everything, a presence diffused, a law governing, a unity sustaining, and a coordinating will binding all together, a unifying principle holding everything in place." This is what we believe this divine spirit is. And it doesn't matter what we call it. We believe it is that one essence, that one presence that is in, through, and as everything at all times, yet is so much more than any one thing. So if this is true, if this is what we really believe, why are there times when it feels like, or even appears like, there's no God present? Why do we experience tragedies in our world? Surely if God was present right there, they wouldn't happen, would they? One of the people I like to study is the mystic Joel Goldsmith. Joel was a contemporary of Ernest Holmes. They did their work around the same time, but his philosophy varies in several different ways. Joel says this: God is present where it is realized. Now that seems kind of contradictory to this panentheistic point of view that says that God is everywhere at all time. But you see, while God is present everywhere at all time, God only can work through its creation. It is in, through, and as all creation. It needs us. It needs our consciousness to activate it. We are the vessel through which God shows up. Now we know that this movement of spirit is not limited just to human beings. I'm sure that most of us have had the experience of God showing up through our animal companions, our beloved pets that we share our lives with. And I know of people who have had conscious connection with spirit when a feather drops off of a bird's wing as it flies overhead, or when a butterfly lights upon their hand at the right moment in their time of desperation. In fact, I know people who can pick up rocks and have a wave of divine inspiration overwhelm them. These moments of conscious contact with that all-pervading presence brings God into action into our lives. We are at all times naturally divine, but it takes our conscious recognition of that presence and the realization of the divine that brings it into action in our lives. Now, if we didn't believe this, we would be believing in a judging, condemning, and punishing God that existed for so many people and for so many years. Otherwise, how could we explain why some people seem to be blessed and other people seem to be cursed if we didn't believe in this punishing, judging God? I believe this idea of God being present where it's realized is key to us understanding why so many things happen in our world that seem to be unimaginable, where we can say there's no God present in that situation because it seems so horrific. It is so easy for us to ask the question, why did God let that happen? After all, if God is present, how could it possibly have ever happened? Well, again, this goes back to God working through us. And as we develop our conscious realization of the presence of the divine in us, we bring that presence with us to every situation. But we also live in a world with lots of different belief systems, people who believe in ways that are completely contrary to what we believe. There are far too many people who still believe in that damning God that is passing judgment upon us, and therefore they try to explain horrific situations through that lens. I don't believe that serves anyone anymore. Our goal in life should be to constantly strive to deepen our conscious connection with that indwelling presence. I believe that's our soul's journey, is to consciously and consistently develop that connection. And in my experience, I have seen that as I develop my conscious connection, I don't experience many of life's problems in the same way that I used to. That doesn't mean that I don't have difficult situations to move through, but how I handle them and how quickly they dissipate in my life has changed dramatically. Joel Goldsmith says that you know you've grown spiritually by the ease at which you move through your everyday challenges. I believe this is what Jesus meant when he said to be in the world, but not of the world. To exist in this everyday situation, to actually be actively engaged in the world, but to not have the world become the controlling and dominating force. That we understand that there is something that transcends this world that is actually our guiding and directing force. We are part of this universe, the way it exists in this place at this time. And we have experiences that are part of this world at this place and at this time. And we reside in bodies that are subject to certain physical realities. In his book, This Thing Called You, Ernest Holmes says, life waits upon our discovery of natural laws, our discovery of ourselves, and our discovery of our relationship to the great whole. We don't exist in isolation, but as part of a collective whole. And what we do individually affects others, just as we are affected by the actions of others. You know, this has come to the forefront of our lives so much in the last couple of years. Globally, we have just been through more than 2 years of a pandemic. Many people died of it. Many people's lives were changed dramatically because of it. And many people moved through it with ease and grace. Now, if you still believe in that judgmental, punishing God of the Old Testament, you might say that those who moved through it with ease and grace were the lucky ones. And you might think that those that died or got really sick got what they deserved. But I don't believe in that. I believe that we experienced these last couple of years in a way that was congruent with the development of our own consciousness. As our consciousness has developed, the ease and grace through which we move through these situations, it intensifies, it magnifies. It becomes easier for us to handle everyday life challenges. And so our work is to constantly be developing our consciousness in deeper and more profound ways that allows us to experience the everyday joys and the everyday trials of life in new ways. Not only do we need to do our own work in consciousness to develop it, to gain a greater understanding of our relationship with Spirit and our relationship with the world around us, but we also need to develop a deeper compassion for others, no matter where they are on their journey. You may have heard someone described as having an old soul. These are people that seem to be more connected. They have a deeper developed consciousness, or there's some inherent profound wisdom that can't be explained. Children have often been described as having an old soul, so it's not related to our physical age as much as it is to our developed consciousness. The accumulation of our consciousness as our soul has experienced different lifetimes. I think we'd all like to be considered an old soul. But by the same token, we are not to be in judgment of the new souls, but instead have compassion from them where they are on their journey. Honestly, I think the world would be frustratingly boring if we were all old souls. The survival of our world would be determined by the compassion we have for the other beings that inhabit the world with us. If we sit in judgment over others because of their responses to situations in their lives, we are condemning ourselves right along with them. If we can believe they can be judged, we also can be judged. We are, each one of us, naturally divine, individual beings, but we are also inherently interdependent upon the others around us. We do not live in isolation, but we live in community. And in one way or another, what happens to one happens to all. The Dalai Lama puts it this way: love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive. Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. And we live in a world filled with beings at various stages of their spiritual development. For some, they have yet to have any realization of their divine nature. They're often described as with the saying, the veil is thick. In other words, they can't even see or catch a glimpse of their true divine nature. And for others, the veil is lifted. But all of this vast diversity has created the world that we live in. And while some of it shows up in ways that we really don't want to experience, we know that it's just a process and that we are all moving toward that higher level of conscious development, whether we realize it or not. The beautiful mystic from India, Mahatma Gandhi, reminds us this way: we must not lose faith in humanity. Humanity is an ocean. If a few drops in the ocean are dirty, the ocean does not become dirty. Humans are fascinating creatures. They're intelligent, social, creative, capable. And yet they can also be unconscious, destructive, biased, and selfish. The phrase human nature refers to the fundamental disposition and psychological characteristics shared by all humankind, including the ways of thinking, feeling, and acting. The term is often used to denote the essence of humankind, or what it means to be human. We believe and teach that there is that within us which partakes of the nature of the divine being. Thus, we are also divine. It is an inherent quality in all of us. Yet it is not always acknowledged, felt, or consciously realized. And therefore, we don't always experience the demonstrations we seek. As humans, we must consciously engage in spiritual practice, the practice of learning and understanding this universal knowledge, the practice of constantly seeking truth, and consciously practicing it on a daily basis in our lives. The demonstration is going to occur regardless, but it may not be what we want. As we practice, as we develop our consciousness, our demonstrations become more in alignment with the things that we're actually seeking. So what is it that you want to demonstrate in your life? And more importantly, perhaps the most important, what is it that you're willing to practice? Because practice leads to transformation. And that which we practice transforms our lives in ways that we cannot even yet imagine. So let's take this into one of our spiritual practices. One of our most profound and fundamental practices is what we call spiritual mind treatment. It's affirmative prayer. It is recognizing that indwelling presence, that universal, all-encompassing presence that is constantly available to us. It's aligning ourselves with it. If this is what God is, this is what I am. It's speaking truth as we know it, as we understand it. And it's giving thanks and then letting it go, turning it back to spirit, knowing that it is complete. So if you will, with me right now, turn within to that place in consciousness where you feel connected. I like to think of that as my heart center. And so I just simply rest in that place. As I recognize that one indwelling presence, that one universal creative power that has brought forth everything into existence, the isness and the allness and the fullness of life exist right there within this one, this all-encompassing, all-pervading, divine essence of life. I know that one as universal love, as perfect peace, as the intelligence and the wisdom that has created everything, that has brought everything into existence. I know it as harmony and balance and divine right action in the lives and the movements of everything. And because I know there's only one, I know that I am one with it. That love and peace and balance and harmony exists right at the very heart of my being. And because I know this is true for me, I know this is true for all life, that each one of us is that unique and perfect emanation of the one. That each one of us is that drop in the ocean that is the divine. And so in complete realization of the power and the presence of God manifested as all life, I speak my word. I know that each one of us is in relationship with that divine constantly. And that relationship is developed at the level of our recognition of it. And that as we deepen our connection, as we deepen our understanding, as we sense and feel and demonstrate the presence of the divine, our lives are changed. That each one of us opens up to a greater way of being, opens up to new connections with others around us, that develops the compassion and the love and the absolute joy of life as it is unfolding before us right here and right now. I know this is the truth of our being. And I give great thanks for this. I'm so grateful to feel this presence. I'm so grateful to see it in action. And I'm so grateful to experience it in community with others. And so I release this word into the law, into the creative mind that always says yes, that knows no lack or limitation, that is always unfolding for the greatest and highest good of all concerned. I let it go and I let it be. And so it is. Amen.
Here at Center for Spiritual Living Greater Las Vegas, we are a mission and vision-driven community. We offer transformative educational opportunities, deep and meaningful moments of connection, uplifting Wednesday and Sunday services. We greatly appreciate your contributions that support the amazing work we're doing here in Southern Nevada. We have several easy ways you can contribute. We have text to give. Simply text the amount of your donation to our text to give number and you'll be prompted to enter your information. There's a link to our online donation page posted below this video where you can contribute by debit or credit card. And of course, you're always welcome to send a check to our office if that works better for you. All of your contributions go to support the great work that we're doing here in Greater Las Vegas community.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Well, I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth or the stars or all of creation. God is creator, all in all, needing us to shine its light as me, as you, so use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, what must they do? Command my life, it's here for you. Yes, God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new. Yes, God needs us to shine its light. Oh, God needs us to shine its light. Yes, and God needs us to shine its light as me, as you, and you, so use me. Oh, God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. You show me all that I must do. Please show me all that I must do. Won't you show us all that we can do?
Wow! We thank our musical guests that inspire and uplift us each week with their talent. And we also thank you for your generous gift in support of our center. We remain committed to serving you. Centers for Spiritual Living Greater Las Vegas continues to provide enriching services, transformative classes, and powerful opportunities for connection within our community. Be sure to watch the announcements at the end of today's service for what's coming up in the weeks ahead. Now, let's join together in a closing song before our benediction.
Together we rise as the sun lights up the sky, opening our hearts to the spirit of love inside. Together we rise, God flows through you and I. Together one in spirit, we rise, we rise. In times of struggle, we seek the Spirit of God within. Receptive to our calling, we love our neighbors and our friends. Relaxing in the knowing God's grace, it never ends. We gather as one people and with joyful hearts we sing. Together we rise as the sun lights up the sky, opening our hearts to the spirit of love inside. Together we rise, God flows through you and I. Together one in spirit, we rise, we rise. As we stay in gratitude, we let Spirit lead the way. Listening to the still small voice, it's always there to say, trust in God with all your heart, the path ahead is clear. We unite together and there's nothing for us to fear. Together we rise as the sun lights up the sky, opening our hearts to the spirit of love inside. Together we rise, God flows through you and I. Together one in spirit, we rise, we rise.
For being with us this Sunday. It's such a pleasure to connect with you, even if we're connecting over the internet this way. It's a joy. And so I again want to encourage you to come to our in-person services. Our next one is September 18th at 9 a.m. in the parking lot of our new building. Please bring a chair with you if you have a folding chair or a lawn chair that you can bring. We do have shade structures available. Everybody was able to sit in the shade this past Sunday, and so it was a delight to be there. And we're knowing that by the third week of September that the weather has started to cool down, and so we shall have a great time there. It really is a delight to be together in community in our, on the grounds of our new building, not quite in it yet. We are still awaiting permits, and so as soon as we receive those from the county offices, we will start the construction on the inside of our building. And so we anticipate being in it in a timely manner. so that we can enjoy our community together in our new building, in our new space. And so as you go forth this week, remember to consider what it is you're practicing, what it is you're truly believing, and what it is you want. And bring your wants and desires in alignment with the practices that you are engaging in. I know that not only will it benefit your lives, it will benefit our entire community, in fact, our entire world. For truly, we are the place through which God shows up. And that's what we're here to be and do. So have a great week, everyone, and we will see you back here on our YouTube channel next Sunday. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
The monthly publication, Science of Mind magazine, is a treasure to be read and contemplated. Along with in-depth articles, there is a day-to-day spiritual support to be gleaned from its daily guides. Licensed practitioner Lynn Frankenberger hosts Adventures in Faith every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on Zoom, and you're invited to join in. This is a weekly group discussion that focuses on those daily guides and how to apply them. Check Facebook and our weekly newsletter for more details. CSL Greater Las Vegas brings you much of your favorite spiritual music every Friday at 7 p.m. with Spiritual Soundscapes. Enjoy performances from CSLGLV vocalists along with special guest singers. It's music for your soul. Subscribe to the CSLGLV YouTube channel to get a convenient link sent to you for each musical performance. At CSL Greater Las Vegas, it is our mission to inspire spiritual discovery through community connection, exploration, and celebration. This mission supports the all-inclusive vision of Centers for Spiritual Living worldwide, in which we envision a world that works for everyone and all of creation.